Okay, Roger once again, Mudfossil University with one of the hugest moments in Mudfossil University history, and this is the reason. Kim Montgomery has this head out in Washington State, and it's in the woods. She keeps it in the woods, and it just sits there, and it was always assumed to be more or less a carved head of some sort. And then she saw something that I posted, and it sort of tripped a little thought process and got a hold of me, and this is how the things unfolded. But let me show you what she saw, which triggered a response in her to say, well, let me show this guy and let him see what he thinks. And sure enough, you'll see what happened. All right, this is what she saw. I did a post about this head, and I really don't recall what the post was about, to be honest with you. But this was discovered by Arlie Caudle and Jim Burchell down in Kentucky. Oh, it's been in that area for many, 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 many years. And they apparently came out of a mud embankment, and ever since it's been thought was just a carved head. And it was shown on TV. Scott Walter showed it, and he said, oh, this is just a sandstone head. It's not anything that's ever been alive. And I took exception to that, and then things got sort of bitter in that area, and it's never been checked. Now, this is a cracked skull. We did have this thing autopsy, CAT scan, and it's got a cracked skull, and it has a knife blade coming in from the top. This is some form of a hat. You can slip a card right up in between the cap and his head. This is the red and the black ferrous oxides that come out from the blood when you have injuries. This is the bone black. It's absolutely 100% authentic. And so I've been fighting ever since. Well, I've been fighting forever, but this I thought was going to get us noticed, and it was called not real. So since that happens, you continue to fight. So everything's been proven now. There's no questions. DNA tests and CAT scans and all that business. So all the people that said it's not correct, we're all wrong. So now let's get to do the real testing. So let me show you what Kim has, and then we'll go from there. But this has to be rectified, and it's being fought against by every sector. It's amazing. Academia has absolutely against this, and everybody else that has been saying this and that is against it because it changes what they've been saying. So as soon as somebody is called wrong, they just walk away instead of looking at the evidence. So this time we're going to look at the evidence. Okay, this is Kim Montgomery, and this is the head that she has, and she's going to explain what she sees in this, and I agree with her 100%. So as we go through this, she'll just explain to you what has happened to this head, and this was a living creature at one time.
Any light on this right now? Whew. If I look at it through your eyes, here's what I see.
Her eyes are working fine, by the way.
When you look at it straight on, you can see to the left how it's kind of sunken in. See that? Right here. And then this over here. Okay, if somebody was to take a club and bash this on the side and cause it to sink in, and then took a club and bashed it in the back of the head. See how the back of the head is kind of sunk in? Oh, it's so hard to look at.
You see the radiated crack?
Okay, so the back of the head,
boom,
isn't even with the other side. Okay? It's not. Like something hit it very hard, and they could have, it has punctures in it, so I'm thinking it could have been a club with things sticking out of it. I'm not sure.
And I believe she's correct in all of her assessments. The thing was cracked in the side of the head, and obviously the back of the head was cracked and fractured. This bony looking material is literally bone, it appears, and the skin has been either eroded away or it never really had much skin on there. But it's a very thin layer possibly of skin, but primarily you're seeing bone here. That's my estimation. I'll show you why I say that with some microscope shots.
So it could have been hit from behind very hard, and then it was definitely hit and smashed in right in here. This would cause the difference in comparison to the other side, because the other side has got nothing like that on there. Okay, now to the headpiece. It reminds me of what a cobra would have. These are alive. It is a part of her. It's not her hair. You can't dent hair, right? And it's like a cover sack on the back of their head, almost like what a snake would have, a cobra. I'm not sure, but I'm almost positive that this is female, okay? So that's what I wanted to show you. As you can see, I messed everything up here. As you can see, this side is kind of smashed in, and this side is not, okay? And in the back, it's the same exact thing. This side is not smashed in. This side over here, all of this.
All right, she's basically done now here, and what I want to point out is this is absolute. There's no question what the story is here. This is smashed in. It radiates a fracture out. This is the red oxidized blood. This is a red-blooded creature. The blood is leaking out through these fractures. There is no guesses here. Now, the material that we see on here, this bony material, I'm going to show you what I have here that's bony material. We'll put it under a microscope, and I'll show you what you actually see here. And people think this is just concrete or something. Absolutely not. And I will show you why I can make that absolute statement. All right, you see the material in Kim's head there. Now, this is a bone that I have here, and it's this enormous bone. And this is, that's the rounded edge part of it. It's all fractured out, obviously. But this is also a bone. But this, in its entirety, is an enormous bone, because you can see that is just the actual radius of the curve. So you drag that out, and you are going to a huge bone. And this is a bone, and I will show it in the microscope. I was told, oh, that's just concrete. It is not concrete, absolutely not concrete. And I will prove to you that that is not concrete right now. Okay, as we know, that's the back of the head that Kim has. This is the bone that I have here that I will be showing you in the video. And this is the curve of the outside of the bone. Of course, it's all fractured up now. And it was approximately 60 inches in circumference. Now, I'm going to show you the porosity and how these things look. People say, oh, that's just concrete. It's absolutely not concrete. It is a bone. Now, this is the microscope shots here. We're going to be going up to the microscope, and this is some other stuff, some mud fossils. I got all kinds of pictures in here just to give you an idea. These are the kind of things that are in mud fossils. You see these? That's the fibers that are in the grip skin area of your tough areas. This is that's blood and so forth. Same thing there. And there's metals in here. You see all the metals that come in with the blood, where in certain areas here. But this is all organic tissues. This is not something that I'm unfamiliar with. Trust me. And that's bone foramen, and that's the blood leaking out and all that stuff. There's no question what I'm saying is here. Now, I'm going to show you that these are just pictures that I took on a bunch of different mud fossils, hundreds of them, literally. Thousands probably. But anyway, there. Let's go into this one that's right in front of me here, and I will show you. You saw it. It looks like concrete. Well, it's not concrete. You see this? There it is right here. That's what bones look like. The holes in there actually feed the bone. You see all the little flecky looking stuff all over? That's all the matrix of the bone. And these holes, you can actually see where the blood enters the holes. You see? They're holes where the blood enters into the bone. And that's what it is. It's bone. You see all these little tiny holes? And the black is the dark used up blood. It's the FeO3 blood. And then redder spots are going to be where the FeO3 is, the red blood. And here's a big, huge bone foramen right here. You see how they make these holes, and then the blood fills inside, and they're soaked in a blood solution. Really, is what it boils down to. This has nothing to do with concrete, trust me. And of course, I showed this to geologists. Oh, that's nothing, and they just walk away. Well, it's not just nothing. This is a bone. So that's what we got. You see here. You go way down inside that bone, something's going on down there. I don't know. You know, there's so much to look at here, and it's just being avoided, and it's very distressing. Anyway, that's what the bones look like, and that's what Kim has is a bone. Oh, by the way, while I'm here, fabulous. This is what happens in lungs. You see, this is lung tissue. I just fell onto this, and I figure I might as well tell you about this right now, because this is something they don't understand either. You see all these different colors, and this is the lung. Here's the lung right here. It's cut open. This is the same lung. You see? That's a little bitty lung from, I don't know what it's from, some creature. But anyway, that is what happens inside the lungs. And this is transition metal bonding. What that means is this is different than that, and that is different than this, and this is different than that, and that is different than this. And, whoops. All of them are different. And they apparently, inside your lungs, in my lungs, the different little cells of the lungs have different chemistry, and they take on different molecules in those places, and I cannot account for that. It's not like a consistent, red bloody. That's all there is. No, there is different chemistry in the different cells of the different areas in the lung, and that is the tissue variegation that indicates that there are differences in the tissues. The only way you get these different colors is there's different tissues. That's all there is to it. So something needs to be looked at here in the lungs as well as the rest of the chemistry of the body. There's a lot is being missed because they're not paying attention to mud fossils, and it's time to change that. Okay, now let's finish up with this. I'm just going to put a little plug in for Mudfossil University on YouTube. Go up there and make sure you tell everyone that you know to go up there and start to learn about our true reality. Now, these are people send these from all over the world. They're sending in pictures of things that look like this reptilian head or birdman head or whatever it is. But what I'm getting at is start looking around. This comes from Sumeria, 4000 BC. That's like 6,000 years ago. And that's a long time ago. And I think this was antediluvian, before this started, before this new humanoid existence started on Earth. There's a lot to learn here, and it's got to be looked at. I mean, that's all there is to it. Why avoid this? That's my point. Why avoid it? Why fight it? Let's look at it and investigate it. If it's not right, well, it's not right. If it's right, it is right. But my point on looking at this thing here is this has got some kind of a lump on its head, too. I just don't know what to think anymore. I really honestly don't. And it should be investigated. Okay, finishing up about investigating things. I mean, obviously this is Kim's head again. I just want to make a couple last statements. There is a ton of stuff to be investigated. It is no longer speculation. DNA tests have been done. Everything has been validated and certified by certified labs. Now there's another review going on in South Africa now by Michael Tellinger, who has some mud fossils there that I'm totally separate from him. I have nothing to do with any of his research whatsoever, other than to assist him in giving him my research to verify that my mud fossils are what I claim they are, and he is going to see if he can recreate that same evidence in South Africa. And he also has a new species that we discovered called no-toes, and they're feet that have no visible toes. They're totally encased. And I found the first ones. The Preston no-toe is in Connecticut. It was found in 2012, somewhere around there. And now they're being found all over the world. And hundreds of them are coming in. I mean, literally dozens of them daily. I'm getting reports of these things. They're everywhere. So that is also on Mudfossil University. We need to investigate our ancient past and our true history. And I'm starting to get, finally, after 6 years, people are starting to pay attention. And I have a priest coming here tomorrow, actually. Today is the 25th of January, 2018. And I have a priest coming here tomorrow who is a scholarly Old Testament scholar. And he saw this, and he contacted me. I didn't contact him, so he is interested, and he wanted to get here right away and find out about this, and he'll be here tomorrow, and we're going to have, hopefully, a very, very interesting discussion. I can tell you it's going to be interesting for him, and it'll be very interesting for me to see what his responses are, because I am very, very well schooled at all of the ancient texts. I've read virtually all of them, and it goes back to my way of thinking. Gaia, Titans, Olympians, all facts. All facts. Gorgons, facts. It's time to investigate these things as a possibility. I say they're facts. You can say anything you want. But when I say they're facts, I present evidence. And when you say they're not facts, you better be able to present evidence to show that my evidence is incorrect. That's all it has. That's the bottom line of being a scientist. And there are no scientists that I can find. I mean, there may be one here and there, but they're not finding me, I can tell you that. So, all I can say is this stuff is not a joke. It's not something that doesn't mean anything. It's not a monkey bone. It's not some curiosity for a carnival or a side show. This is what we come from. Something here is from us. It's from our lives, our history, our past. How can this be just so casually dismissed? It boggles my mind. Get up to Mudfossil University. Take this into your own hands. Don't let these people tell you what to think. Take this in your own hands. Because I'm going to tell you right now, this is not just for today. This is for your life, and this is for eternity. And if you don't understand what this is about, eternity is in question for you, I would think. You're going to have to dig and look and I mean, as I'm just telling you, if you call me a religious fanatic, call me anything you want. I'm not religious, to be perfectly honest with you. I am a historian. I'm a scientist. I'm a chemist. I understand rocks. But they lead me to understanding what our history was. You can't just go, I'm going to read a bunch of books and know our history. No, it doesn't work. You're going to have to be able to prove it. Somehow with chemistry, somehow with molecules. And that I have done. And now it's time to look at it as a serious investigation of our past.